This past weekend at the Nashville Superspeedway, there was a lot of talk about backed up traffic outside the track. Well, it definitely wasn't a good look, but it paled in comparison to the top dog of horrible NASCAR traffic fiascos. That, of course, is the 2011 race at Kentucky. But to understand this, we need to go back a bit. The Speedway opened up in June of 2000. That's when it hosted its first Truck Series race. But a year later, the Busch Series was also added to the slate of races for the facility. This would be the highest level of stock car racing the track would host for the rest of the decade. On the open wheel side of the track, they hosted races from 2000 to 2011 for IndyCar, but it was really well known that the main focus was getting NASCAR's top series to race at the Sparta facility. And NASCAR was a hot commodity for the track. By 2008, Xfinity crowds were as high as 70,000 spectators, and Truck Series races drew in nearly 50,000. So when SMI bought the track in 2008, there was a heavy lobbying group to get the mile-and-a-half track on the Cup schedule. And just as he had pushed hard for a second Las Vegas date for years, Bruton Smith really pushed hard for this track's Cup date. And while the track wasn't added in 2009 or 2010, the lobbying that they had paid off, as by 2011, the track was added to the gauntlet of Cup Series races. The spot on the schedule would be a prime-time summer slot, formerly held by the Chicagoland Speedway. For NASCAR, this would be a large win, as well as for the track, who seemed to fill a void in their largest base of fans in a region of the country. And from what it looked like, fans responded, buying tickets in droves. Bruton Smith was touting this race as another one of NASCAR's new crown jewels, even comparing it to some of NASCAR's largest races like Daytona and Indianapolis. Yeah, he kind of went overboard with it, but there was a lot of hype. You add to this the fact that the 2011 season was one of the best in years, and you truly have a hyped up event. But there was just one area that Smith could not get his way on: a full-scale renovation of the traffic infrastructure around the track from the state. This one discrepancy would serve to make the seemingly dream weekend into a track-damming nightmare.
You been coming to races, sir?
15 years.
What do you think about Kentucky Speedway?
I'm never coming back. We've been sitting in traffic for over 5 hours to go the last 30 miles. And
we're only staying 2.5 hours away from
here. We stayed in Columbus today. We left there at 1:30. It's 9 o'clock.
How much did you pay for your tickets?
$110 a seat.
Can you all get reimbursed on it?
No.
What would you like to say to the Speedway?
I would like to thank them for the worst racing experience I've ever had and for ruining a week's vacation for me.
Will you ever go back to a NASCAR race?
Yes, but probably not one at Bruton Smith's tracks. I usually go to 3 or 4 a year, but I don't think I'll attend another one of his events.
Thank you, sir. What do you think about the experience here at Kentucky Speedway?
It's outrageous.
How long y'all sit in traffic?
5 hours.
5 hours?
Yeah.
Where y'all coming out of?
Florence.
Florence, Kentucky?
Yeah.
And you've been in traffic 5 hours?
Yeah.
This is our first time.
First time, what do you think about your experience so far?
Hectic.
How long have y'all been sitting in traffic?
Cincinnati, probably about 2.5 hours.
Well, I came to the first Busch race 10 years ago, and it wasn't near as painful as this. We've been sitting in traffic for 6 hours. I don't know if we came the wrong way or what. It looked like the interstate was pretty clear. We came up through Frankfort. I don't know if the interstate was clear or they've just been letting the interstate traffic come through and just neglecting everybody back through there. We've been in traffic about 6 hours, and I guess the race is probably halfway done now, and
so how much,
a little ways.
How much did you pay for your tickets?
$85.
And they're non-refundable?
Non-refundable.
And you all couldn't get in here because of traffic?
because of traffic. We've been sitting.
So if you could say anything to Bruton Smith, what would you have to say?
So you need to figure out some better traffic schemes to get people in and out of here before you decide to have a NASCAR race here.
Ma'am, how long you been sitting on the exit ramp?
About an hour. And we have a pass. We are actually in the RV area and can't get back in. We took a friend, dropped him off. Could not get on exit 57 going the other way because it's all one way. Had to go all the way down to Owenton, which is, I don't know, like 16 miles up, to come all the way back to sit here again, and nobody can tell me anything.
To say that these clips are still shocking 10 years after they happened, I don't think is overstating things. Estimates of over 100,000 fans had flocked to the track in Kentucky. And as they did, they took up the limited parking areas that the track offered. Traffic was backed up as much as 15 miles back onto the highway as the green flag was waving. It was a complete disaster. Some chose to just stick it out and try and make through the hot July sun to the track. Others parked on the highway, leaving their cars behind so they could get at least some glimpse of the race they paid for, while a large amount of fans just gave up, turning back if they were able to and skipping out on a race that they had paid hundreds and some possibly thousands of dollars on. Credibility with the track and the fans was shattered. NASCAR and the NASCAR media was even forced to cover the disaster because of how much out of hand it got.
There were traffic troubles that caused some fans not even to be able to get in to see the race. Now, NASCAR and Speedway Motorsports have vowed to fix this problem.
We take what happened last weekend very serious, and immediately conversations opened up between NASCAR, the track, Speedway Motorsports, from the highest of levels on the NASCAR side and the highest of levels on the Speedway Motorsports side. Jim France, Brian France, Lisa Kennedy, Bruton Smith, Marcus, everybody's engaged in this topic.
In 2012, there were renovations done around the track due to the event that was nicknamed Carmageddon, forcing the state of Kentucky to help SMI financially and infrastructurally rebuild this area. This gave them new parking lots, a wider highway, a new pedestrian tunnel, and an overhauled traffic pattern. And Kentucky Speedway also worked to use more of their social media presence and app presence to give fans more of a lay of the land when it came to parking at the track. They were doing everything possible to avoid a repeat of 2011. And to their credit, they did. But even with all of that, the die was cast. The Speedway also put on subpar racing for the most part, aside from two great finishes to end out its tenure. Between that and the waning fan support, as well as a final blow from the COVID pandemic, the track would end up losing a date on the 2021 NASCAR schedule. Now, in a weird and somewhat fitting turn of events, the track has been turned into basically a giant parking lot, as well as a storage and rental parking lot, as well as tons and tons and tons of space for storage for Amazon trailers. Will the track ever come back to any main NASCAR series? At this point, who knows? But that's what I want to hear from you on, so let me know down in the comments below. Do you think Kentucky Speedway will be added back to the NASCAR schedule in the foreseeable future? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're at it, leave a like in this video and share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more NASCAR content like this. And if you really like it, you can join my memberships tab. So until next time, have a good one.